On this episode of The Little Carnival, we delve into the world of polygamy and discuss the Brown family, from their beginnings to how much they're worth and what's going on in the off-season. Their new show starts in January on TLC, and we discuss that as well, who our favorite wives are, and how we would handle being in a polygamist family. Thank you so much for listening.
Come one, come all, step right up to the Little Carnival. If you love to hate the reality TV shows on the TLC network, get it? TLC, the Little Carnival? Then this is the podcast for you. And now, your hosts, stars of the Ugly Truth podcast, it's the Uggs.
Welcome to the Little Carnival, our little offshoot podcast about the reality television shows that are on the TLC channel. You and I are obsessed with polygamy,
yes,
for some weird reason, because in a million years I can't even fathom sharing my lover with other women. So I think maybe that's why I watch it, because I just can't imagine women being okay with having their man, gallivanting around to other women for the purpose of religion, which I think we all know. In this specific case, it probably started off that way with the Browns, Cody
right.
Brown and his wife Mary, Christine, and Janelle, and now Robin. But it doesn't seem like they're adhering to a religious point. It's more like this is just how they live their life now.
Well, like they have their church in their living room, and I would not be okay with that. I'm like, unless we're sticking to some strict conservative thing, I'm not okay with you fucking around.
Well, and not only that, but if you think about it, not one of their children, and they have 18 children, I believe, and not one of them, none of the adult children who are married or marrying age have any interest in practicing polygamy.
Exactly. They have 3 married children and 2 in serious relationships. And so far, none of them have any intention of doing it.
And they're incredibly passionate about saying there is no way in hell we'll ever practice polygamy. I mean, they're super passionate about choosing monogamy.
And one of their children is gay.
She is. And when you think about the odds, when you have 18 to 20 children, the odds of one of them being gay is fairly not surprising, at least not to me.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, you think that, we'll save this for another 15 minutes, but you know that the Duggar kids, there's at least one closeted Duggar, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
There has to be. Well, there's
Speaking
one that
of the Duggars,
thinks.
one of them just got married, and for their first kiss, he started kissing her shoulders first. Did you see that?
God. Kinky? No, I have not watched the Duggars. You know what? The Duggars is for another 15-minute episode. Let's get back to the Browns.
I'm sorry. I just saw that the other day, and I wanted to throw up.
Okay, next episode, we are talking about the Duggars. Okay, so the Browns, we've been watching them. They've been on the air since 2010. I did not realize.
For 8 years?
Pretty much. Well, maybe 2011 or something around that time. My guess is when the Bones, when the Browns started, it was one of those things where they were going to do like 3 or 4 episodes just to see what everybody liked.
Right.
Was the trashy TV watchers going to embrace polygamy? And we absolutely did. All of us. We all wanted to know about it. So what do you think your obsession is with polygamy and the Browns specifically?
Well, I mean, they're a likable family. I mean, they all have decent personalities except for Mary. Yes. And
that's because she's miserable. Although we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we will talk about her. And I think it's just the whole dynamic. Like, you share one husband. That is so bizarre. Like, it's just such a foreign idea. But then on the same concept, like, does it really work? Because, I mean, there's times where, it would be nice if Victor was just gone,
Yes.
And I had my own house and everything like that. And then in a couple of days, he came back. And I'd be like, that's kind of nice,
You would have to for me. Well, first of all, there's no way I could do it, but one would have to compartmentalize the thing, knowing that they're not with you, but they're with another woman. It would be the part that you would have to basically eliminate. And if you hear women talk about polygamy, they say that the number one struggle is jealousy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that's a given. And always wondering if you're the number one in their hearts. And a man honestly. Men who practice polygamy, I don't think they develop a deep rooted intimacy with any of the wives because I don't think they can.
Well, I think they
it's
can.
possible.
I think they can individually.
But it's not like when you're with one person, you
Right.
put all your eggs in one basket. And with men who don't, I'm just curious. I'm not a man, so I couldn't tell you. But it would seem to me it would be a little bit difficult, even if you love them individually, to really have that deep, because that's monogamy,
Right.
That's monogamy. So it would be hard. So anyway, so Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robin. The reason we're talking about it is they are currently filming their new season, which I just read is coming in January.
Oh,
so
okay.
I thought it was spring of 2019, but it's January of 2019. They were in Utah. They fled in the dark of night to Vegas, and they bought these humongous homes in Vegas that were custom built for them. And they're trying to sell them right now. And
Yeah, Janelle and Christine still can't unload theirs.
well, none of them have sold.
No, Robin's house sold.
It did?
Yeah. Robin's house sold like almost right away for some reason.
Oh, okay.
And then I want to say Mary's keeping her house. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I don't either. What I do know is that Christine's is still on the market, and it must be Janelle's then that's still on the market because there are 2 of the 4 that are currently for sale. Christine's been on the market for 2 months. They're priced at like $675, and she just slashed the price $25,000. And first of all, they're huge. They're 4,000 square feet homes. They're like 5-bedroom, 4 baths. And the backyards are really pretty. Mm-hmm. The homes, though, have this hideous poo brown carpet.
Yeah.
And it's not even good carpet. And it needs to be torn out completely.
Well, and the problem is they only purchased him for like $475,000.
Yes.
So for them to expect the house to appreciate over $200,000 within what, like 5
3
years? Or
I don't think, no, it has not been 5. I think it's been like 3.
that's ridiculous.
Well, it is, especially for Vegas when they have a glut of homes. That's the
And
one thing.
The market hasn't changed that much in the last few years. I mean,
Well, not that much to the point
No.
where they're going to make a killing.
in California, maybe, but now it's starting to even plateau. But in Vegas, probably not.
Yeah, and so the reason that they're trying to sell their homes at such an inflated price is because they purchased 15 acres in Flagstaff, Arizona for $800,000. And that's where they've moved. They are living in rentals. I had read initially that they were all in one home. They are not. They have 4 separate homes, all scattered about in the same area.
So back to the way they were almost in when they first moved to Vegas.
Yes, but I think they are within walking distance of each other because I would be really surprised if they weren't. I mean, I follow some of them on Instagram just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. And Christine and Janelle must be pretty close because they hang out quite a bit together. I have yet to see Robin with anybody else, and Mary, who is basically single but tethered to the family for, I assume, the show and whatever other reason.
Religious purposes.
Right. She's not even unpacked in her home because she's traveling so much because she is all in on her business, which is LuLaRoe. She's making a killing on it. I read some financial information about them that was pretty recent. She and Janelle are worth about $400,000, which isn't a ton, but when you're talking about people who never had to actually work beyond their basic little jobs before they were famous, that's not so bad.
Is Janelle doing it too?
No, Janelle's a real estate agent, and she's actually making money selling, except for these homes that she can't seem to unload to save her life. She's in real estate. Cody's worth about $800,000. I don't know what the man does. I have no idea. Does anyone know what he does?
They all have these little small ventures.
They're like pyramid businesses.
Schemes or something. Well, he's in sales too, so
I do believe that he was in some kind of media sales before they were just quote unquote discovered, and he was promptly fired once they went public because it was in Utah. Mm-hmm. But I want to say he was doing like what's that, NutriCare or Natural Care, the green Nutra whatever. Mm-hmm. health supplements or whatever. And I saw a picture when they were moving out of their Vegas homes to the Flagstaff rentals. He has lost a tremendous amount of weight.
Yeah, he's really skinny.
He's really thin. And actually, except for, well, even Janelle's lost some weight. Robin looks the same. And Christine has lost a little bit of weight too, which is nice because I think she's really pretty. Mm-hmm. So Christine is now selling LuLaRoe.
Oh.
Which is not surprising because this is a pyramid-based business. So it's not at all surprising that she would start selling it for Mary.
I know Janelle's daughter is doing it too.
Janelle's daughter was Mary's assistant until she had the baby. And now I believe she too is selling. And she is still in Vegas. She did not move.
Oh, okay.
The only kids that moved to Flagstaff were the ones under 18. Everybody else stayed wherever they are.
So just the little ones. Okay.
Right. So the only bummer at this point is they aren't all living in one giant house because I was really hoping to see that dynamic.
Yeah.
They're back to having their own homes. I did read that Cody spends every night with Robin now, that he does not sleep with the other wives.
That's weird.
Is it a shocker to anyone?
Well, I mean,
surprising.
just for the sake of seeing his kids and stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he sees the children, but in the evenings, where he sleeps is Robin.
Yeah.
And that's not surprising to anyone who's followed the show. They can protest as much as they want, but it's brutally clear to everyone that he truly loves Robin. So the other ones are in their 40s now, so, they're old hags, apparently.
Gee, thanks.
We'll talk about that on our other show. So they've made about $3 million filming, which is not too bad.
I would have expected more, to be honest.
They get about 10% of what the budget is for the show, which is fairly low. It's between $300,000 and $400,000 per episode.
Well, it's not like they have to do anything.
No, they just have to exist, essentially. Mm-hmm. So they did buy 4 lots that include 15 acres outside of Flagstaff, Arizona for $820,000 in June. They are in rentals right now. Producers told Flagstaff officials because the Flagstaff is like, what the hell are you going to do to our town? Because it's pretty small and it's super duper liberal there. Which is why they probably chose. And it's also a little rural. Mm-hmm. They're going to be filming in all the homes. And then they've rented or purchased a commercial building space where they will probably do all their interviews. So TLC, January 2019. Mary, it's interesting. She had all those problems. She was catfished by some broad early. Yeah. And so she's living her best life. Her daughter lives in Chicago. She travels all over the country with her little pop-up shows for LuLaRoe. She also bought she bought an inn in Utah.
Yeah,
her mother lives there.
Mom, yeah.
Her mom lives there now, what I've come to find is if Mary wants it, Mary's going to get it.
Yeah.
And the only thing that she can't seem to get is Cody back in her bed. That's the only thing. And so, it's interesting.
It's like she's ice crotch or something.
I think Mary wants to get laid. I mean, there's only so much you can do alone. At some point she wants a little, Yeah, and
really.
He's having none of it. And I don't think he's laying the pipe on any of those women except for Robin. Personally.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's a problem, don't you think?
Significant problem. The problem is if you're doing it for religious purposes, polygamy, and you're not fucking your wives, there's no one they can tell. There's no elder group that you can say, hey, our husband's not fucking us anymore. Mm-hmm. This isn't polygamy. This is hell.
Right.
And so he's not accountable to anybody. And so, biblically speaking, even if you're just a one-on-one couple, that's a reason for getting out.
I would think so.
Yeah. I don't know their religion very well. I don't know their religion at all. But I would think that not satisfying your wife's needs is kind of high ranking if you're a polygamist. Well, that would just be my opinion.
Well, that's it. Any marriage, I would think.
Well, of course. So who's your favorite wife?
Probably Janelle.
Really? Is it because she's so plain and
she's
matter of fact?
Very level-headed, smart. Mm-hmm. She doesn't get too frazzled about things, and but when she has something to say, it usually makes sense.
Right. My favorite is Christine. I think she's funny. And those two women specifically, I don't understand the appeal for polygamy because they're amazing women on their own right. So that's the only bummer. But I am looking forward to January to see how they all survive the move. It'll be interesting. And yeah, I mean, we're all in. We are all in. So, and I'm sure that we will discuss when the new season comes up. We'll bring up the Browns again and we'll dish. I think our next episode of the Little Carnival will be the Duggars, though, because it sounds like there's some stuff to talk about.
I know, huh? As much as I've been avoiding that Counting On show, I think I'm going to have to watch it.
Also, Paula, I started watching The Little Johnsons.
Really? The one with the doctor?
No. It's the other small people show. We'll discuss. We will discuss. So thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate the support, and that's it for us.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the greatest show on earth, the Little Carnival Podcast. Subscribe to The Ugly Truth on your favorite podcast player, and you'll never miss a show. Visit thelittlecarnival.com for details.